Hello, everybody. We have an exciting video today on DC Worlds Collide. Now, this is my first game that I've played of this type, like taken seriously, I should say, with the gacha mechanics and getting heroes and whatnot. And so I wasn't sure if like balancing was a thing they did or anything like that. And it turns out that it totally is in this game. And so they're calling this balance patch that's scheduled for October 7th Brother Eye. And they said that it's something they did in like the beta and whatnot. So if you're unfamiliar, which I was, that it is only buffs, no nerfs. Um, and that probably could be just this one. I don't know. But it is a game changer. So let's just get into it. First off is Mara, front and center, getting Frostbite added to several things in her kits. We saw that already enter into the game alongside Aquaman. When he entered, they wanted to release it early. They said they planned it for October 7th, and then they said, it'll make Aquaman sell a bit more, so let's go ahead and get that pushed into the game. Along with it, we saw some Ocean Master. I don't know if they pushed through the changes or not. It didn't look like they did. But they're going to have to go and clean up the text on Mara and Ocean Master, and hopefully the text doesn't get messed up on the rest of them because there's some, it's doubling up. You've probably seen it if you have either of those two, and making because it's like doubling up under each ability levels 1, 2, and 3, but with different text. So it's like it didn't remove the old text, but added the new text. So it's a little messy. So they're going to have to clean that up. But as far as her, she's getting stacks of Frostbite added to her ultimate and her advanced abilities. So that's nice. She'll be able to play with Supergirl or just alongside Aquaman. Now, another change is Lifesteal, which is news to me. Lifesteal did not benefit from any, it wasn't considered healing. So anything that, like, buffed healing didn't buff Lifesteal, and they're changing that. So now you can, heal crits will apply to Lifesteal and et cetera, et cetera. As you can see here, hard hits getting 10% more per stack. So that's nice. Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf, it was annoying because you have Superman or Flash on the team, and it wouldn't matter because he would just go through invulnerability, and they're removing that on his cross cleave. So that's really, really nice because they tell you, hey, use Superman or something like that, and then he just one-hit Superman, and you're like, great. So Superman wasn't doing anything for me. The Bride is a character I don't have yet, but basically they say the Bride has wonderful skills to make her an ideal tank. However, she lacked kind of that true tank ability, so they're fixing that by increasing how much HP she has and increasing her damage potential. So you can see here in the yellow, that's all the stuff that gets changed. So now when she revives, she'll revive with more health. Her crit rate increases for the rest of the battle. So you're going to be getting that every time she revives, and it has the she's going to perform her basic attack as she always did, and then it's going to get 100% lifesteal instead of whatever it was getting, right? And then they did some reworks to her level 2 and 3 of her badge, giving her more damage reduction. They also reworked some of her stats so that she's going to get more defense and attack. Now, Dr. Phosphorus is one I do have, who I was excited because I was sure he was going to be good, and then he just fell flat, and they knew it. So he's getting reworked a bit. He's going to have more superpower reduction, and but take more physical damage, kind of in the way that Superman and Superboy, some of the super characters do, right? And he's going to get more healing from his stacks of burn and apply more stacks of burn to himself. Now, Weasel is one that's getting kind of a larger rework. So, Weasel, they said with their team synergies, they wanted the team synergy to kind of do a buff and then also counter something, right? Which was news to me. I didn't notice that. I'll have to go back through the synergies. But Weasel's his team synergy was all about Weasel, which isn't necessarily or inherently a bad thing. But if you have a goal in mind and you're not achieving your goal, then, right? So they basically reworked what was already in his team synergy into his badge, which means his badge got a full rework, and then made his team synergy more about the team. So it's going to counter shields, is what Weasel is going to do, which makes sense because he does bleed, and bleed counters shields, right? So now you're going to be able to dispel random debuff from the opposing team, as well as penetrate shields, and that's just going to get better, right, as you level up that team synergy. Then, they did some basically beefing up of his passive and his ultimate ability. Mr. Terrific was just a small touch-up where if there's not a target for the debuff, so the debuff or condition, when it gets applied, it's going to just get applied to a random target. Because previously it would just apply to whoever was in the position on the opposing team, and if there's nobody, then it just got, blown into the ether or whatever. Now it'll apply to a random target. Green Lantern just got a little buff up to his Slugger Stomp so that he can be a little bit more effective. Now, Green Lantern is a character that Green Lantern John Stewart, I should say, is a character that, I don't know, for some reason I just really like. Maybe it's just because it's a unique kit, right? Where I like a character that can counterattack, hit multiple times. I just like the feel of his kit. But it was kind of lacking, right? And I've got him at the moment in my arena team that is my block team. So Ocean Master, Nightwing, etc., right? Vixen. And he's in there because, I don't know, he just felt appropriate to go in there as just like a fun tank too, because he's got counterattack ability. He's adding the insight weakness and whatnot, but he's getting a larger rework. So first off, he's going to create shields on his ultimate from level 1, so that's nice, and it's actually 50% of his max HP. So right now I think it's 15, which isn't nothing. You basically have to pump so much into his health to make that, number stand out when you just have a Dr. Fate come in and do, 700 damage and junk, right? So anyways, and after 2 turns, he attacks the enemy with the lowest HP, right? Instead of the one that dealt him the most damage, he's going to attack the one with the lowest HP, which is going to help just to make him feel a bit better because he'll be doing more for the team, right? He can maybe finish off a target or something like that. And it's going to be for 300% of the total amount that he absorbed. Each stack of weakness is going to add 15% damage to the shot, right? but his shields are going to increase at level 2 to 75% of his max HP. And when damaging an enemy, he's going to apply 1 stack of exhaustion. So previously that was in his badge. So we'll get to his badge in a minute, right? And then at level 3, the shields are going to increase to 100% of his max HP, which is crazy because that's going to be a lot of shields for 2 turns. This is going to make him a tank's tank. And for his passive, during battle, increase max HP by 10%. And when attacked, he's going to gain a stack of weakness insight. So no longer will there be a chance for him to get it. He's just going to get it when he gets attacked, right? And damage reduction of weakness insight now increases to 4% per stack on level 2. And then there's no change to level 3. Bullet shower. So previously it was when he was attacked, he had a 40% chance to counterattack. Now it's when anyone on his team gets attacked. That's crazy because, as I said, I put him on my block team. And Ocean Master has a chance to counterattack, and has a chance to counterattack again and again and again. So he's going to be a counterattacking, and John Stewart's going to be counterattacking. It is crazy. That team is about to blow up. I'm so excited for this one. While aiming with his sniper, the counterattack also gains 70% lifesteal, which I don't know why that's in yellow, because I believe, unless they put it on, no, I believe that was always the case. He will always counterattack when he is hit by an enemy. So he'll have a 40% chance when anybody on his team gets hit, and then if he gets hit, boom. And I beefed him up with blocks, so he's also going to be blocking the damage. And if he's got the shields on, then, or if he's, used his ultimate, then he's got the shields on. Crazy. This character it's just got a major bump up. For his badge, since they reworked exhaustion into his level 1 of his passive, his new level 1 of his badge is going to be at the start of battle. All Green Lanterns are going to gain 1 stack of weakness insight for each Green Lantern ally. So, you can do a full Green Lantern team. Obviously, they don't care if some stuff only affects, how many characters you have on a team, or, only works with specific heroes. Like, Aquaman's a good example that just came out, where he gets all the buffs that Mera gets, right? And that's cool, but if Mera's not on the team, then that's just useless. So this is another one of those things where you're going to get all that up to level, you're going to get the level 1, and you're going to be like, I don't really want to play the others, or I may not have them. It's nice that it's there. It's not what I would prefer him to have. I'd prefer stuff that was general, that didn't shoehorn a character into, oh, you're better if, but it's not the end of the world. Speaking of Green Lanterns, we have Jessica Cruz next. And when she has at least 10 stacks of her Power of Faith, her ultimate will cost 1 less ability. I believe that's it. Yeah, her badge, her level 3 will increase her maximum stats to 20. And then her ultimate no longer has a cooldown at level 3 of her ultimate. So she'll just be able to rapid fire ultimates. And I guess that's her thing. I wanted to like Starfire, and I don't. And they know it's another one they know. So basically they're giving her ways to do more damage to the back row, because once you got rid of the front row, Starfire's kind of like potential plummeted to the toilet, right? So more damage to the back row. Bizarro, basically they say, hey, we know it's crazy that he breathes fire and doesn't burn you, until you get his badge. That's crazy, right? So they're fixing that. Along with that, they're like, yeah, so he dies a lot, right? Because he's taking so much damage. And that's not cool. So we'll fix that. And so now, when the ally holding the flower is defeated, he's going to heal. But also, when the turn of the ally holding the flower ends, they'll both heal for 5% of their health, him and the ally. So that's nice. Makes him a much, much better tank. They did say that don't worry, NPCs won't be getting that. It will just be playable Bizarros. So you don't have to worry about super tanks. Now, Vixen is another one that I love. I don't know why, but she was one of my first characters that I got, and I just love the way that I just love her kit. And I don't know, I never knew anything about the character before playing this, so I always love when games like this will expose you to new characters that you didn't know before and make you fall in love with them. So they were like, "Hey, we wanted a tank that like did some damage." I think of those as like pseudo tanks or off tanks, right? Um, and they're like, but she didn't do enough damage and she didn't have enough health, so she was kind of in this weird spot. And it's true, she didn't do her fuck. She didn't do nothing for damage. And her survivability got better as, you level her and badges and whatnot. But, anyways, they're saying her badge bonus is getting reworked. So they said, along with this, they were like, okay, we've got major stats and minor stats. You know that for the badge system, right? You get your two major stats, and then you'll get a minor stat some like halfway through each badge level. And they're like, tanks usually get these stats, and she didn't get the tank stat as her major stat, and so that made her feel less tanky right into the late game. So we're fixing that and giving her a tank stat. And then for a minor stat, we're changing it from a defensive stat to an offensive stat. So major stat, tanking her up more. Minor stat, giving her more damage. And that should level that out. Should make her feel better. Also, a massive bump up in damage on her ultimate. Her stats are getting increased as well to feel a bit more tanky. I know that once you get her up to level, start getting her up above level 8, and you add a artifact on her, and then you start getting towards the end of her levels on her kit, she did feel a lot better. But I don't know, I just stuck with her because I liked the design of the kit. But this should, especially the bump up on her ult, will feel much, much better now. So another thing that I didn't realize, they were like, yeah, have you read Constantine's kit? Like, really read Constantine's kit? Because if you did, you would notice that he says that the allied team will lose health and therefore not count as sacrifice. And I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Y'all motherfucker. So they said, fine. What we're gonna do, because we didn't like that, it wasn't working as well as we thought it would. We're gonna change it from lose to sacrifice, and so that'll work with Mara, who I had sitting right next to Constantine, and yeah, I had Mara next to Constantine with Mr. Terrific behind, and clearly was not getting the full benefit I thought I was getting. So nice to see that that's being changed to sacrifice, and that that'll open up some better stuff. It was working with Pandora, right? Because she just has to lose health, but something like Mara specifically says sacrifice, and so that you see how the wording there. This I see why they do the wording, because some stuff will be OP if you don't have a distinction, but still, it's annoying. Kid Flash. They said Kid Flash is great, but he's boring. And so We want them to be great and fun and interesting. So, again, with that theme that they want of synergies to be dual effect of providing something for you and countering something else. They're going to be changing his level 2 and his level 3 of his team synergy, so that level 2 reads at the start of each ally's turn, cleanse all burn stacks and heal 5% of their missing HP for each stack cleansed. During battle, all allies gain 20% healing receive bonus and 30% burn damage resistance. So if you see that you're going to be going up against the burn team, it's time to pull out Kid Flash. And at the start of each ally's turn, for level 3, heal them 5% of their missing HP and cleanse silence from them. So silence and burn are going to be a problem if you're going up against Kid Flash. Just really quick on the Poison Ivy. I looked at her because I was pretty sure. She's another one. I've always been about poison and damage over time. So she has 8. That's what's changed here, and I think they got the number wrong because it says when an enemy has 8 or more stacks of poison, they can no longer heal. They wanted that to be her anti-heal to be a bit better, but it already reads 8, so either it got changed and unintentionally already, or they've got the wrong number here. Either way, I'm not sure. But there you have it. Ocean Master just had a bug, right? Another annoying thing that I didn't know was happening, but he wasn't properly applying block amount on his passive, and so they're fixing that. Thank goodness. Now, this is an interesting one. So tag changes. So they're saying that basically their systems only allow them to apply 6 tags. And I don't know why there's that limitation, but there is. And they said, we want to have more tags. We want unlimited tags. We want, if a character has 20 tags, so be it. But that wasn't what we thought at the beginning. So we're fixing that. And it's underworks. They said that, for instance, they had to remove the superpower damage tag from Superman to add another tag to him this go around, and they said they removed it because, none of the game modes are really utilizing superpower damage at the moment, but they want to have the superpower damage tag on Superman at all times. So they're working out a fix where they can add unlimited tags. But also they said, just a heads up, you can go to your character screen and you can search by tags. You can filter out tags. So if you want, you need, you're good, right? And then they've changed some tags, added some tags, removed some tags. And they said go over to the Discord and let's hear about it. We want to hear from you. So head over to the Discord, talk to them, give all the feedback, tell them what you like, what you don't like about the game, and tags you think characters should have. I was in the Discord seeing that they had a super thread up about Aquaman, and they were like, how do you like Aquaman? And people were like, well, I don't like that he's agile. And they talked to him about, well, why don't you like that he's agile? And, et cetera, et cetera. So it does work. There was definitely somebody in there, a community manager or a community coordinator. And so, But thank you for watching. Be sure to leave a comment on the video of which changes you are most excited about. Who you think is strong, who you think is not strong, anything. I want to hear what kind of interesting teams you all have. So, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until the next video, thank you for watching.